So it's time to take off. Okay. Any other questions about that? Arrive. You can arrive at a decision. Arrive at a decision. Just like that guy with the job in San Francisco, he arrived, he came to a decision. Have you arrived at a decision yet? Yes, I have. I'm going to San Francisco. Oh, okay. Wow. Arrive. So it's to come to a certain point. You arrived at the door, you arrived at a decision. It's all come together.
Good morning, teacher.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Okay.
Some shortage is used in the U.S. But in Thailand they call air hostess.
Okay.
Air hostess means steward and you steward. แต่ว่า
Well,
air hostess.
oh, well, okay. It's real, it's almost, scary.
And almost they use the stewardess, right?
Air hostess. Yeah, okay. Stewardess. Yeah, okay. Air hostess sounds really formal, but okay. No, I get the idea. A hostess or a host, do they call the man the air host? Air host? The man? Everybody's a female?
จริงๆมันเป็นสจวตนะ
There are no men working in the Thai Airlines? It's all women?
No, some steward.
Steward in Thailand mean man.
Oh.
Air hostess mean
Steward.
woman.
The steward is the man and the air hostess is the woman. The hostess, the person. Normally a hostess is a woman that's giving a party, let's say. She is the hostess. You go to a party at some building or whatever, and you'll say, oh, who's the hosting today? Oh, Mrs. Smith is the hostess. Or Mr. Smith is the host. The one sponsoring the party or the dinner or whatever. The host and hostess.
แต่ว่าเราจะเรียกผู้ชายเป็นสจวต
The lady is the hostess. The man is the host. And the woman, the hostess. Or the steward and the stewardess. Yeah. Who is the hostess of the party? Oh, Mrs. Smith or Mrs. somebody. Or Miss Smith or whatever. But a woman is the hostess. A man is the host. Any other questions about these words?
If we go to the America or Europe, which one that they use for the airplane officer?
Well, I would assume most of the English speaking would use steward or stewardess. Air hostess, I haven't heard very much.
เพราะว่าถ้าจะเจอ S คือผู้หญิงเหรอ
I mean, it's the same meaning. It's not like it's, oh, you can't say that. No, it's the same idea, the same meaning. It's just a different word.
They all understand.
Of course.
Talking to
Yeah.
them.
The hostess will be here to help you, the air hostess. Yeah, she'll be here in a minute. The stewardess will be right here. She'll help you with the bag. The stewardess will help you. The hostess will help you. The steward will help you.
Thank you.
Any other questions about these words? Pronunciation? Pilot? Pilot. Pilot. Yeah, you don't have to say pilot. Pilot. Yeah.
นักบินไง
Teacher,
teacher, what is the difference of pilot and pilot?
ขับตัวสีต่างกัน
Oh, well, I just put this here to show the pronunciation.
ให้ออกเสียง
It's not a word.
ไม่ใช่ไพเราะ
I just put it there to show you. You can say it's not pilot,
ไพเราะ
it's pilot. You know, easy. That's not a real word. That's just the pronunciation of a word. Pilot,
ไพเราะ
pilot,
ไพเราะ
pilot.
ไพเราะ
You look at it, first time ever, you may say, oh, pilot.
ไพ
He is the pilot?
ไพเราะ
Pilot. Yeah. Just forget about the O and think about it as an E, pilot. The pilot will be here in a moment to tell you or something. Or the pilot will announce the departure any minute. All right. Okay? Air hostess. Security. The pass-through security will be landing in 10 minutes. Please buckle up for takeoff, and we'll be arriving in 10 minutes. Okay, here's some words that you can.
เราซื้อถูกเคบิน
Cabin.
เคบิน
Cabin.
เคบิน
Not cabin. Cabin.
แคบินแคบิน
Hijack.
ไฮแจ็ค
Hijack.
ไฮแจ็ค
Airplane.
แอร์เพลน
Airplane.
แอร์เพลน
Aircraft.
แอร์แครฟ
Aircraft.
แอร์แครฟ
Gate.
เกต
Gate.
เกต
Airport.
แอร์พอร์ต
Airport.
แอร์พอร์ต
What is the airport?
แอร์พอร์ตที่ฉัน
The place.
เพลนเพลน
The place.
เขาเรียกอะไรปาร์คแอร์ปาร์คแอร์เพลนปาร์ค
Right. The airport. Well, first of all, you just take the word port. A port could be a city on the ocean where the ships come into the port. But this has nothing to do with ships and water. This is an airport, a landing point, departure point for airplanes, not ships. The ship will be in the port in 2 hours, in the port. The plane will be at the airport in 2 hours. So instead of a ship's port, it's the airport. And there are several airports here, 2 major ones in Thailand. Cabin. Cabin. What is a cabin?
On the plane.
Oh, okay. Oh, right.
ไลน์
Okay,
แอร์เพลน
yeah.
ไลน์แอร์เพลนไลน์ไม่รู้อะเส้นทางแอร์เพลนไลน์
Cabin could be
แอร์เพลนไลน์
a small building out in the forest. You have a cabin. Where are you going this weekend? Oh, we're going to our cabin in the forest. Little wooden home, so to speak. But when we're talking about airports and cabins and aircraft and airplanes, obviously we're talking about the inside of the airplane where everybody sits in the cabin. The cabin of the plane, where the seats are, where everybody's sitting in the cabin. But the word began with a small building that's away from the major cities and stuff like that, a small little building out in the countryside. We have a small cabin in the woods. But this one refers to the sitting place in an airplane. Gate. What is a gate?
Big door.
Entrance door.
A big. Well, no, a gate is a place that basically is an entry point for something. It can be a building. There can be a gate and a fence in front of the building. You have to open the gate, or somebody has to come out and unlock the gate with a key so that you can go in the gate. But in this case, we're talking about airports, so we talk about the gate. In a sense, there is a gate. It's probably a person standing there taking your boarding pass, and it says gate number 8. Well, maybe there is no actual gate, thing opening and closing, but that is the location where you enter the plane, the gate, a gateway. In the gateway, that way you walk, before you get to the plane, you usually walk down a covered corridor inside, and that's the gateway. The gate. The gates will open. You could go to a stadium and the gates are closed. Somebody else said, you'll say, well, what time are they opening the gates? The gates will open at 8 o'clock. The game will start at 9. At 8 o'clock, the gates open. The gate. Terminal is another idea than gate. Do I come up with terminal? There's one out of terminal with one. Well, okay, terminal. What is a terminal? This is a big building. We're in a big building. At the airport? Can there be a terminal anywhere else? Chested airports?
Terminal 1, Terminal 2 separate line เป็นรหัส
The train is coming to the end of the line. End of the line. Coming into the terminal. Terminal is a word that means the last or the end. We are going to terminate your job. Terminate my job. Term in 8, not L, term in 8. Your job is over. You're fired. Well, what happened yesterday? I was terminated. End. You can have a terminal at the train station. Reaching the terminal. Last stop. Over. Done. Terminal at the airport. Landing down at the terminal. We will be arriving at the terminal in 5 minutes. The terminal, the last point. The end of the line. The end of the line. Terminal. aircraft. Airplane, aircraft, just another word for airplane, aircraft. You have large ships that are used as aircraft carriers. Aircraft carriers, ships. The planes in the sea take off from the aircraft carrier and they land on the aircraft carrier. Very large ships. World War II, there were many aircraft carriers in the Pacific Ocean. Aircraft carrier, airplanes. The airplanes landed on the aircraft carrier. Aircraft, airplane, gate, airport, cabin. What is hijack?
มีแอร์เพลนเครื่องบินแอร์เพลน
Big plane? A big plane? A very big plane.
No, some people attack on the airplane. Right?
Yeah? Okay.
ไฮแจ็คมันเป็นเครื่อง
Hijack.
เป็นเครื่องบินไม่ใช่เป็นชื่อ
จี้
เครื่อง
ไม่ใช่ว่าการจี้เครื่อง
เป็นเครื่องอะเป็นเครื่องอะโจรจี้
In a sense, it is to take control of the plane illegally against the law. You go into the pilot with the gun to his head, fly this plane not to San Francisco, but to London, and fly it now. Hijack.
แรกเป็นการปล้น
Did you ever work a hijack? Did you ever work on a
โจรกรรม
hijack?
โจรกรรมไม่ใช่
Sitting, I was sitting in Hong Kong at the U.S. consulate. Ding, 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 ding. Telephone. Have you heard about the hijacking in Karachi? Hijacking in Karachi? Are you? What is? This is FBI headquarters. Have you heard about? No, I said I don't hear about any hijacking in Karachi. Pakistan is half a world away. Get out there right now. Landed in Thailand, changed planes, Karachi. Hijacking at the Karachi International Airport. What they did, it was an American airline. That's why I got the call. In Hong Kong, of all places. I wasn't in Bangkok or Karachi, I was in Hong Kong. I got the call to go. An American airline was hijacked. It was still on the ground. What happened was the passengers, about 200 passengers, all got on the plane. And men dressed as security guards, drove up in a truck and boarded the plane, looking like airport security guards. Except they weren't airport security guards. And they took over the plane, but made one mistake. They took over the plane before they went to the cabin, where the pilot and the co-pilot, the assistant pilot, were sitting, ready to take off. The pilot and the co-pilot heard what was going on in the cabin. Yelling, screaming, no, don't move, don't move, don't. There were 6 hijackers. Pilot and the co-pilot said, whoa, we don't want to be involved in this. So they climbed out the top of the pilot's cabin where they could open the windows. They climbed out and jumped down. So now passengers, hijackers, the people hijacking, but no pilot and no co-pilot. Boom. All of a sudden, got them. So they're sitting there and it goes on for hours. Meanwhile, I'm flying across the world to get there. And they're sitting there and the hijackers are wondering, what are we going to do? We'll start shooting the people so they put a pilot on the plane. We'll start boom, boom. And as they were thinking about doing this, suddenly the batteries of the airplane failed and the lights went out. But the hijackers thought that, oh, they're going to attack the plane. They're coming after us. It was actually the batteries failing. It wasn't the police outside. It was the batteries failing. So the hijackers said, we'll all get out of the plane and run off and we'll just forget about this because it didn't work and we'll run away. So they get all the passengers up and tell them, start running down the ramp and off the plane. So they all start running. And the hijackers join in to make it look like they're a passenger too. But the passengers saw the police all lined up out there, standing. They said, oh, there's one right there, and that's one right there, and then he's one. And so they were able to get all the hijackers arrested because they tried to blend in like they were part of the passengers running away. The passengers said, hey, that guy over there, no, that guy. And they got him. So that all stopped. And then I landed. What hijacking? Oh, okay. But that's a hijacking. When you take over something like that, you can hijack a bus. Doesn't have to be a plane. You can hijack a bus or whatever. You take control illegally and forcefully take control of something and threaten people like, if you don't do this, you're dead. Boom. Hijack. And a person, the hijackers. The hijackers were arrested. They failed. But other hijackers have succeeded. The planes on 9/11 in New York were hijacked. But they were already in the air when they were hijacked. So the pilots had no chance, in a sense, to get out. So they were hijacked in the air and then crashed into the buildings. That too was a hijacking. Any questions about these words?
In this case, the pilots run away from the plane. It's good, right?
Well, I think it saved a lot of people. Nobody ended up dead.
But almost the rule the pilots should stay in plane. Should stay with the passenger or not?
Well, I think no. I think in this case, they were either going to be flying and something bad could happen flying. Who knows what? So I think that, yeah, they stopped it right there. They weren't going anywhere. The pilot and the hijackers, they were thinking of shooting passengers until they sent a pilot on. But because the lights failed, they thought, uh-oh, they're attacking the plane. We got to get out of here. So that's when they thought they'll just mix in and run, and everybody just run away. That didn't happen. Him. No, that was it.
Not same hijack land for 9/11.
On 9/11, they were hijacked.
hijack is Indian อิสเดียนบอกใช่อินเดียนไม่ใช่เหรอนี่ไฮแจ็คอิสเดียนของคนนั้น
No, idiom? No, it's a term that you'll hear. You look it up, it'll be there. not so much an idiom. Hijack. Stealing, in a sense, stealing the plane while it's, being with passengers and
คอน
everything.
แอร์
Terminal is the last point. End of the line. End of the line. Terminal point. End. Right here. End. Terminal. Terminate, to finish. He was terminated. End of the job. Terminated. You could say fired. He was fired. He was axed. Axed. He was. These are all slang words for terminated. He was axed. Shock. Chop. Not really axed in the sense of. To be axed would be to be let go, fired. You're fired. You're terminated. Sorry, we have to let you go. There's all different terms for that situation. Any other questions about the words? Explanation? Pronunciation? Okay.
นี่เห็นส่งนิ่งเลยอ่ะหาไม่มีเหรอ
ผู้ชายยังไม่ได้หามันไม่หาไปถึงใช้โกน
17 เดือนไหน
ไม่ใช่ค่ะ
ประมาณสวยใบไม้ผลิพอดีโลกเก็บ
เราไม่ชอบหิมะ
ไม่ใบไม้ผลิใบเศษสีอ่ะใบไม้เปลี่ยนสีรูปชุนเทียน
บอกให้ไป
ชิวเทียน
ไปจอร์เจียดีกว่าแม่ถึงแจ้งคน
อยู่ที่โกตอนนี้ไม่ค่อยสวยตอนนั้นเราไปหลาย10 ปีแล้วแบบยังไม่ค่อยมีคนรู้จักอะสวยมากตอนนี้มันถล่มไปตั้ง2 เที่ยวแล้วน้ำตกมันถล่มไป2 เที่ยวแล้วแต่ดินไหว
ไม่ชอบไป
ไปเดินไหวแล้วเราไปหลงอะ
ถ้าถึงว่าอย่างนั้นคิดเราไม่มา2 วันป่วยละเมื่อวานไปโรงพยาบาลทั้งวัน
เนาะเป็นไรอ่ะ
สมองที่มันถูกกระชอยมันเลิกอาเจียน
ระวังเป็นแน่ๆนะเป็นมันตั้งโรคที่นิยมเป็นอะไรอะไร
ตอนนี้อัลไซเมอร์
เช่นเซลล์ที่โรคมันเป็น
Okay, here's a few more words that you might hear at the airport or someplace like that.
สต็อก
Baggage,
baggage
baggage,
baggage
luggage,
luggage
luggage,
luggage
flight, flight,
flight
transportation,
transportation
transportation,
transportation
crew, crew, aisle, intercom, intercom. What is baggage?
แบ็คพิเกตเซฟแบ็คคีบแบ็ค
Okay, that's right. That's baggage. Right, you got it. Baggage
คีบแบ็ค
for travel.
แบ็คคีบแบ็คเก็บ
Well, right. A bag. It's pieces that you use to pack away clothes or certain things that you want to take on the trip, and you put them in your bag or your baggage. Baggage. Luggage. Luggage. Baggage. Same idea. Same thing. Luggage. Luggage, baggage, same idea. I have my luggage right here, and I have my baggage right here. Luggage, baggage, same idea. Most of the time, it's baggage. He carries a lot of baggage. That's an expression. Doesn't really refer to suitcases and things. For someone to carry a lot of baggage means he has a lot of problems. I understand they're hiring the new guy to be the manager of the